Wow. It's Tuesday, which makes what, January 15th? 2018. It's probably about a little before 8, about 7:40, is it? Something like that. West Coast time. I'm Kurt Kelly. I'm working on a concert for World Peace. I've been listening to soundtracks and bands and performers and artists around the world, and putting together an invitation list of people we'd like to have on the concert for World Peace. Scientists will also be included, people who can teach information about sustainable living, green technologies, recycling, humanitarian interests. This is meant to be a healing broadcast for world peace, for better understanding, for common interest, for coexistence, for understanding that no one wins World War III, except the people who make the bombs and those who push the buttons. We're at the age of Armageddon, the time of revelations, the time of whatever your God said would be the end of time. It's time to take a stand. I'm working on the war against wars, the concert for world peace. If you could be part of the angels we need, because we're going to need 1,000 people, from production people to ticket takers to security to performers to backstage and staging and all the stuff that goes into a large scale production. We're also going to be doing this in 360 virtual reality. So if you can't actually be at the concert events, then you can select the channels and pay an additional fee, but it will benefit the Concert for World Peace Disaster Relief Fund to restore rainforest, to lobby the UN for globalization of health care, so citizens of planet Earth aren't aliens and they can get health care no matter where they're going. It's time we level the playing field, folks. It's time the 99% stand up and say, enough already, stop destroying my planet. If you can help, please, your donations to Disaster Relief, a non-profit registered with the IRS in the state of Michigan as a U.S. corporation for humanitarian interest, is a NGO, a non-government organization that works with all governments around the world through the UN for humanitarian interests. As a humanitarian who has worked with the State Department and DSSPII, Diplomatic Security Services, Protective Intelligence Investigations, and many other acronyms, CIA, FBI, DOJ, as a federal contractor, never as an employee, I have been exposed to things that have been mortifying. I have had amazing blessings in my career. I have been able to do things that most people can only dream of. I've traveled the world. I've been heard around the world. I've been seen around the world. I've taught around the world. And I've been the voice of God around the world. And I've created a lot of technology that you use today. I was very instrumental in the SSL technology, as well as things for secure credit card transactions on the internet, as witnessed by Treasury, Department of Justice, Secret Service, and everybody else I worked with on that project. NASA JPL for live broadcast over the internet, pioneering live broadcast in several formats actually, over satellite, over cable, underground, fiber, dial-up, several broadcast technologies, and voice over IP, and a whole lot of other things that are just needless babble. Let's just say, as a bright guy, you are made to work with your government when you possess certain talents and information, whether you like it or not. That's a fact. I was born into the political book of who's who's, the people who have been messing up this planet for generations, and At childhood, I knew that I couldn't be anything the family wanted. I couldn't be a world leader, a politician, a doctor, a priest, a lawyer, a president. None of those things all would have been part of the family history. I mean, my great-grandfather was a knight and a lord in Parliament and renounced the Queen in the Communist newspaper in 1898 and said that he was headed to America to strike out for his own fortune. Should have been beheaded since he was still in the country when he did it. Ballsy guy, I would say. Kind of ballsy too. I'm also related to the Kennedys and a whole lot of other people. The only point I bring out to you is that when I tell you things, it's not conspiracy theory. It's not insanity. It's fact. Whether you choose to believe it or not is up to you. Now, my ass is on the line because there are certain things I have actually breached, I'm sure, per our government, in continuing to promote certain information that I know to be factually correct. How are you tonight? You look gorgeous. Can I play with you someday? Maybe? Please? Have a good night. She's so beautiful. I am taking a journey across LA in Southern California. It has been one of the most painful journeys of my lifetime. I'm saying goodbye and I don't know if I'll ever be back. And I'm just randomly appearing around town because I've been so many places in Southern California. So I'm just randomly appearing in areas and sometimes people are like, oh my God, you're back, you're alive or whatever, and are so blown away to see me. And have said such remarkable things, but also are like, dude, get into hiding. Those who know me well know that I've put my ass on the line to tell the truth about corruption in police forces, to governments, to whatever. It's been a painful journey because I don't want to have to leave Southern California, but I was advised to do that by Special Agent June of the FBI about, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and by several other people in government, you know, Special Agent Paul and so many others, who have said, Kurt, you know, you'd be best to get way off grid and go hiding in a foreign country. I'm not good at getting off grid, obviously. I've tried for the last, I don't know, 3 years, and I still am. Long story, but no, Kurt can't get off grid in America. Too many people recognize him, especially in Southern California, where he's been for the last, you know, how many decades? Over the past 2 centuries. So, doing what? Where? Yeah, so it's hard hiding when you've done red carpets in this town, television, film, talk shows, have traveled the world, have produced concerts, are rather kind of like a major public figure and a celebrity to many. I'm blessed to have so many people who follow what I do, who support me at least at a fan base or an audience level. Tragically, I also realize I probably only have one friend on the planet. The only one who's kept in touch with me through all of this, who has been a saint, and as far as I'm concerned, even though it doesn't have a God, will be in heaven because he has been better than those who have religion and have a God. Let's get beyond the God thing for a minute, boys and girls. Let's look at the Creator, okay? Like, I've created a lot of stuff, and, you know, my government's taking a lot of shit from me because they think they can. But where they kind of miss the boat is, if I wrote the code, there's no way you can overwrite stuff that can't keep me out if I have the root keys, which I do. So there's nothing that's going on around the world because everybody uses my shit that I haven't been able to see. The good news for you is I'm not a bad guy and I don't steal from other people. I get my wealth from my own creative genius, my talent, my skills. I also get robbed more than anybody else on the planet and sodomized by people you shouldn't ever have to meet. But that's a whole nother conversation. I begrudgingly am leaving my country because I need to stay alive, and there's been so many attempts on my life. There have been so many terrorist threats. There have been so many assaults. There's been so many false incarcerations. There's been so much bullshit that I don't know anyone throughout history, including Jesus Christ, who has been tormented so much and who has probably been dead or near-death experiences and brought back to life by tweaked people in government more than I can imagine. I've served 3 life sentences in foreign prisons. I've done stuff for my government, for my country, and for other countries that's put my ass on the line to try and restore sanity to regions and stop the insanity which our government has perpetrated. I'm working on a concert for world peace. Disaster Relief is an NGO, a profit. Your tax-deductible donations from anywhere in the world, art, money, whatever you can donate to help us move this forward. We need an army of angels to promote world peace. We're going to need to hire thousands of people around the world to pull off this global production. For more information, see facebook.com/KurtKelly Entertainment. Look under events for the Concert for World Peace, or do hashtag C, the letter C, and the number 4, WP for World Peace 2019. And also check the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Disaster Relief Inc. Disaster Relief Inc. is INC, like a corporation. And you can send your donations to 11,000 Wilshire Boulevard, number 24, 1971, Los Angeles, California, 90024. Don't worry, even if I leave the country, my offices and people here in the United States will make sure that it's applied to the proper funds as I'm leaving the country to start finding the locations to do the Concert for World Peace. And, you know, to stay alive while we try to sort out the mess that's going on at Capitol Hill, which I have some very hard evidence and firm opinions on, based on high-level intel that I have at my fingertips. When you work at the level of intel I've worked at worldwide, because when they need somebody to read something in the voice of God, they can't hire, you know, Morgan Freeman, he's not classified. They can't hire a lot of people in high-level intelligence in foreign countries. There's not one I haven't worked with, so go figure. Let's just say this about that. Your governments and world leaders of religion and politics would like you to believe one thing. Maybe you should believe another. You're not going to get 72 virgins when you hurt people. And you're either good most of your life and you're on the right track, or you're, you know, not going to get in your dying breath, oh, please forgive me, and go to heaven. It's time to wake up, people. Stop drinking Kool-Aid. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. If you can help with the Concert for World Peace, you can also email us at disasterreliefinc, INC, @gmail.com. Put in #C for WP 2019 and how you can help. I hope you're with us.